I just want to ask Charlie, because we don't have a Clone Wars review this week. We've been a bit busy, but we'll return to that next week, I promise. I just want to ask Charlie whether he thinks Ben Askren is going to win this week on Saturday, or whether YouTuber Jake Paul's going to win this week. Because, I'm not like a massive, UFC fan or anything like that. I kind of get everything secondhand from Charlie. But everything he's been showing me about Askren, I'm so ready to watch this guy kick Jake Paul's ass. But then some of the stuff you've also told me, maybe Jake Paul's got an ounce of a chance. I'm very intrigued. And I kind of just want to get, this is the last chance to get your predictions as to who's going to win. And I really want to know what you think.
All right, okay. So obviously I'm rooting for my boy Ben Askren because I love him to pieces. He's hilarious. As people have pointed out online, if you look at Jake Paul hitting the pads and you look at Ben Askren hitting the pads, it looks like Jake Paul is the better boxer because he's definitely got the skill set that he's started to pick up, right? Mm-hmm. Ben Askren has never been known for his striking because he's a grappler in the UFC. He took guys down. He never really stood and he used his striking to go for the takedown. So my concern is his striking isn't the best, right? So this is where the interesting part comes in because you're thinking a YouTuber versus UFC fighter, how's he going to win, right? But he isn't known for his striking, and that's why Jake Paul picked him. He's very cleverly picked a UFC fighter who's not known for his striking. However, that being said, he has posted a video like yesterday where his striking looked way better. So I don't know if he's just been purposely trolling people or... I mean, it still doesn't look great. It still doesn't look 100, but it looks like enough to beat Jake Paul. And if you want to know my predictions, Mr. Matt Will, if you want to know my predictions... I think the experience of Ben Askren, and we've never seen Jake Paul face any adversity. He's fought two YouTubers and a basketball player. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, we're talking Ben Askren who's fought the best in the world. He's been champions in Strikeforce, not UFC, one championship. He's an Olympian wrestler. This guy has fought all the adversity, and I think he's gonna put Jake Paul through his paces. He's gonna put him through some adversity, and he's not going to be able to handle it when he's with the big boy. And I think
he definitely seems very confident, doesn't he, Askren? The way he's been very chill.
Yes,
like all the conferences, the amount of stuff you've shown me of Jake Paul just like giving it the big one, and Askren is just cool as a cucumber. And he's wrecking him by not even doing anything.
Yeah, no, he's fantastic.
So he's definitely got the mental game, hasn't he?
100%.
And he's obviously, as you say, like he took a hit to the chin from some really powerful guy, you were saying.
Yes, he's fought Douglas Lima, who's like one of the most dangerous strikers in mixed martial arts, along with Robbie Lawler. He took a punch and he got dunked on his head, on his neck, by Robbie Lawler. He lifted him up, smashed him, and then he got up and choked Robbie Lawler out. So it's like this guy, he only got knocked out once in his career, and everyone takes the mick out of him because it was in 5 seconds. Jorge Masvidal, one of the greatest MMA fighters of the world. But, anyone who takes a knee to the chin is going to get knocked out, especially by Jorge Masvidal. So, this is... So
I feel like there's a consensus that Askren ain't all that from sort of mainstream casual viewers.
Yeah,
but if you actually break down what he can do, and also like the discipline to just go, okay, I'm just going to focus on boxing for this fight.
Yeah.
Definitely, I think gives him the edge.
Yeah.
But also, like, it's just like you're cringing internally if Askren, for whatever reason, loses. It's over. It's over.
That's why we're watching it, though. That's the sell. And, he's got us all in. I must admit. I mean, I think I'm going to feel silly either way. By even, if Ben Askren just whoops his ass, I'm going to feel silly for even thinking that Jake Paul even had a chance. And the other way around, I'm going to feel silly because, he represents mixed martial arts and should be, beating Jake Paul's ass. A guy who's been training for 3 years of boxing, so...
And didn't you say there's like a clause Jake Paul wanted Ben to desperately sign? Because basically he knows that if it was out in the street, it would be, as Ben says, homicide. It would literally be a homicide because this guy knows a way more diverse set of moves. There's no way, as soon as he takes Jake to the ground, it's over. Yeah. And Jake knows that, and he knows that he's been talking so much shit that if it gets into the fight, he wants a clause saying that if he does start kicking Ben's ass in the boxing, Ben can't turn around and just get him in like a rear naked choke or something.
Yeah,
but
no, yeah.
you said he's apparently refused to sign that clause, which doesn't that mean, Char, that there is a chance that no matter what happens, whether Ben starts kicking his ass or starts losing, he could just end it?
Yeah,
easily.
pretty much. So, well, obviously the match will be a disqualification. But, you know, we all get to see what we paid for, which is to see Jake Paul get his fucking ass whooped, which is what he's banking on, you know. Everyone wants to see this guy get punched. So apparently, I don't know how true this is, but I know that Jake Paul wanted him to sign a part of the contract that was about that he can't, like, try any grappling, like, he can't kick him or anything. If he does anything like that, he loses all of his purse. But apparently Ben Askren said on his Instagram, I didn't sign that. So, and there's been, like, UFC fighters who have been like, oh, please just dunk him on his head. Like, please just lift him up and slam him. Like, don't worry, we'll set up a GoFundMe to pay you for it. Like, all this stuff. Like, everyone just wants to see him. 100%.
How much would you donate, Terry?
£10 because I'm poor.
Well, you know what? Ben is an American hero, judging from that Rocky parody video, so I think he'd take it. I think he'd do it for free.
It's a great Rocky parody video. I really enjoyed
that was fantastic.
But I just can't get over when Jake Paul body shot him at that conference and he just laughed. He walks off and he laughs.
He just laughed at him.
What a machine.
He just laughed at him. He's such a...
but it's going to be so embarrassing if he loses, though,
I know.
after all that.
But I just can't see... I really just think... I think he's going to utilise some dirty boxing. I think he's going to get him round the back of the head and throw some uppercuts. And then obviously when the ref splits him up, he's going to do that. He's going to play dirty. He's not going to play a full-out boxing match with Jake Paul because, you know, he knows that Jake Paul's been training boxing for 3 years and he's a guy with a more diverse skill set. So it's interesting.
Is he bigger than Ben? What's the weight like?
Yes. I believe Ben Askren's 5'10", 11, and Jake Paul's like 6 foot, 6'1", and I think Jake's a little bit heavier, but I think they're fighting around 190 pounds. I think I might be wrong.
Okay.
So it's interesting, but like, you know, like I said, like the punching power, he's got bigger gloves on. He's got bigger gloves on than he's been used to being hit with in the UFC with the small ounce gloves, and he's been hit by people that strike way better and harder than Jake Paul. However,
what's the guy's name?
he's in a
Chuck
boxing
Loader.
match. Chuck Loader? Who's that?
What's the guy's name? The one you said hit Ben Askren before. What's his name?
We had Douglas Lima and we got Robbie Lawler.
That's it.
Robbie Lawler.
Douglas
Robbie
Lima.
Lawler.
I don't know why I thought his name was Chuck Loader.
Chuck Loader.
Chuck
Did you get that mixed up with Chuck Liddell, do you reckon?
Maybe. I do quite like the
Loader.
name for like a... If we create like a fictional UFC character in a movie, Chuck Loader.
100% Chuck Loader.
No,
That's
he'd
perfect.
have to have guns because he's just reloading.
Chuck Loader.
Chuck Loader.
But he's got the guns.
It's time
hasn't
for
he?
Chuck Reloader.
That could be the sequel. Chuck
Exactly.
Reloaded.
And he's played by GSP.
Oh yes, perfect. I mean, GSP's too much of a true martial artist to play the heel, you know, as these guys.
No,
like to
Chuck
do
Loader,
nowadays.
I'm imagining, is like the lead.
Oh, okay, perfect. So he's like the
You know, he's like
lead.
the next thing you hear is me pulling the trigger.
Pulling the trigger. I do want to see GSP do that. To be fair, I do want to see that. But yeah, I'm thinking about putting a bet on. Ben Askren has said he's gonna beat him or knock him out in the 7th round. He's gonna wear him down. He's gonna let him. I think he's gonna let him punch himself out, and then he's gonna wait to see him get tired because he's never gone that far into the rounds before, Jake Paul. Whereas I think Ben Askren said like wrestling is so demanding on the body, like boxing's gonna be nothing to him. And I think he said he's been training boxing and he was like, yeah, it's so much easier for my because it's just my upper body. And he just recently had a hip replacement, so he was like, it's not really too much issue with me. Like as opposed to wrestling.
And you
So
got to think he's just
cardio.
devoting time to that one skill, isn't he?
Exactly. He's been training with
He's a guy
Freddie
that can
Roach
usually
as well,
do.
who trained Manny Pacquiao. So, and GSP as well. GSP, he's come up a lot, hasn't he?
Hey.
And I would want
Also-
nothing more. I want nothing more than to watch Charlie watch Ben Askren knock out Jake Paul because I know he hates Jake Paul with a passion.
Yeah,
He's
I do
bastardising the
Charlie.
UFC, isn't he, Charlie?
He is, and he's just.
Did he say like UFC fighters are pussies or something?
Yeah, he
Something
said
like
they
that,
punt their
didn't he?
striking sucks and punch us like, oh, what are you talking about? What are you absolutely talking about? And he's just an arrogant. Like, there's a difference between selling the fight and actually thinking these things. You know, like Conor McGregor, he plays a character. He knows what he's doing, but then when the match ends, he's still very humble and very nice. Whereas Jake Paul, he doesn't do that. He's still chatting shit and disrespecting people. You know what I mean? He doesn't have that martial artist aspect of him, and I think that's what I mean, he seems like a dick anyway, to be fair. So it's like I just can't wait to see him get his ass handed to him. Hopefully,
But he's such a villain, Jake Paul. He's such a villain and such a douche in all these videos and stuff that it's like, I feel like he is a dick, and then he's also playing a villain on top.
Yes,
do you know what I mean?
that's
Like,
it.
he's a dick normally, but he's also, do you know what I mean, going out of his way to be his... Like when he's
100%.
like, stand up straight, bro, when I'm talking to you. It's like, who are
Mate,
you?
so cringe,
Who are
mate.
you?
It literally, who are
Not
you?
even Zayn Malik wanted to hang out with you. There's a video of him
It's
like
true,
knocking on
yeah.
his hotel door asking to hang out with him, and he's like, fuck off. And he's like, not even he wants to hang out with him.
It's true.
And he's trying to give it the big un.
But it's just brilliant. Like, if you watch that press conference, it's like it's comedy gold. It's like you're watching Brent, but like a different kind of Brent. Like, he's like trying to be tough and like wreck him, but he just comes out with you're a pussy. Do you know what I mean? That's all he's coming out with. Like, there's no clever wittiness about it. He thinks he's Conor McGregor. He thinks he's got the trash talk level of Conor McGregor. Because this guy, he seriously thinks that he's going to fight him at the end of all of this. He thinks he's going to fight all these UFC fighters, and then he seriously thinks he's going to box Conor McGregor in like 3 years' time or something, he said. And I'm just like, this guy, I mean, fair play. Why would this guy not think he couldn't do that? You know, he's had everything he's ever wanted.
Yeah.
He's done it all. I understand why he would think that, but he's delusional.
He's just so
They
fucking
touch
thick.
Each other, don't
Yeah.
they?
Yeah.
Men just want to touch each other. that's the reason behind it.
Basis of our whole
Exactly.
society.
Exactly.
We want to be able
100%.
to hug each other, but we can't.
Yeah, that's it. 100%.
Hug it
100%.
out. Hug it
Yeah.
out.
Hug it out.
It's true.
Yeah, I do think if Jake Paul was hugged more as a child and not dropped on his head, maybe he wouldn't be where we are today.
That would have helped.
Probably.
But he is just thick as fuck, and Ben Askren is just like running circles around him mentally because he's much wittier. But
Yes.
hopefully he's going to run circles around him literally on Saturday.
Yeah. Oh, I pray.
We'll see.
Hopefully-
We'll see.
Well, everyone will know.
What are you
from-
predicting, Char? 7th round was it?
I'm thinking 7th round KO or TKO by Ben Askren. Or if he starts to lose, he's going to dunk him on his head, maybe. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
I'd like to see that.
You think there's 100% chance of Jake Paul reign on Saturday? That's the forecast.
Well, if you see my face like this next week on the podcast, you'll know what happened. Even if you're not even into all this stuff, you'll know what happened. Jake Paul won. But if I'm like this, how I usually am, then Ben Askren whoops his ass, and I'm hoping. I'm actually thinking about putting a bet on as well. 7th round.
We've got 2 fights to look forward to next week. We've got Jake Paul versus Ben Askren and a Falcon Cap versus John Walker.
Exactly. I'm loving that we just spoke about that on this podcast just a bit. I think that's hilarious. I want people to
I'm
like,
glad
what's
we
all
did
this? Yeah, but I'm glad we did it. I'm glad. It's on YouTube. It's the talk. You know, this guy is represented in YouTube, I guess. Even
Mate,
though,
what do you think I'm going to do with this? This is going to be a cut down.
exactly.
Get
exactly.
the UFC crowd
To be fair, he's smart.
Who's
smart.
this fucking nerd? He doesn't even like UFC. He's not subscribed to this shitty channel. Waste man. That's what they'll say.
Fantastic. Yeah. So I can't wait to see what happens. I'm itching. I'm going to stay up and watch it.
Before you go, Char, do you want to give us your socials? And indeed, Terry, would you like to give us our socials? Or your socials? I made a hash of this. I'm just gonna shut up now and let you guys shoot.
So, if you like listening to me on this podcast, I also have my own podcast called Your Favourite Film is Awful, where each week we bring a guest on to defend their favourite film against negative reviews. Terry is coming on very, very soon, so look out for that. So you can follow us on Your Favourite Film is Awful on YouTube, on all podcasting platforms. You can follow us on Facebook, Your Favourite Film is Awful, Instagram, Your Favourite Film is Awful, and Twitter at FabFilmIsAwful. You can also follow my personal account if you care, at Charlie Lilly on Instagram. where, you know, if you like me talking some martial arts stuff, you know, I do edit some jiu-jitsu videos and stuff now and then in my spare time. So check that out if you're into that sort of thing.
You can find me on Instagram as Terry Merkin, Twitter as Terry Merkin, where I'm occasionally funny. You can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Terry Merkin, where I'm always lost, because we never can find our way through the games. So come join me getting lost, playing Jedi Fallen Order. Letterboxd is Terrell. Do I have anything else? Did I get everything?
No. You can find me on Instagram at full_fat_videos, and you can find me on Twitter at fullfatvideos. I'm sorry, Ted, I just wanted to be mean. I've got the John Walker in me today. You need to take me down. You guys have got to stop me.
Sweet, you'll cap. I'll be Bucky. We'll take him down.
Ready.
You can take me down. I am Captain America.
He did go a bit Christian Bale, didn't he, at that
gross.
point?
He did. Oh,
Yeah.
oh good for
Shield down.
you.
Good for you.
I'm really struggling.
It's that vibranium, man. It's too heavy.
Yeah, see, that's why you're not fit enough to wield the shields.
Whoa, I'm just sat in a beanbag. You tried to find a beanbag. I'm the next Captain America here.
Who's the next Captain America here?
Me. I just said.
You.
Yeah.
You. I feel like the real Captain America wouldn't make a bid to be Captain America, so it's probably unfortunately Charlie. But I'm happy being your Falcon.
Sweet.
I'm happy being that Falcon to your cap.
Perfect.
No, in all likelihood, I'm probably Zemo. Let's be real.
Yeah. That sounds about accurate. I'm probably that weird Cockney power broker that we had for a bit, or whatever. Whoever
When you said I'm probably that weird cock, I thought, yes, you're describing yourself perfectly, and then you continued on. It's kind of gotten a bit muddled, but it's fine.
Do you
It's
want to
fine.
do your socials now?
He's done it, buddy.
I've done my socials, baby.
Did you do them all?
Yeah, I rattled mine off, G.
Oh.
Yeah, we're already done.
I want to
Yeah.
shout out my letterbox though, because I watch a shit ton of weird shit. If you're into that, into movies, obviously you are if you're here on the Full Fat Videos. So at Charlie Lilly on Letterboxd. So
Yeah.
check out, yeah.
And on that note, we will return for the finale of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, or more accurately next week, Captain America and the White Wolf, baby.